top5rocket. These are nice, pleasant team names. And they are experienced teams, experienced players. And we'll be seeing them go live now. We are live. In the blue is top5, who have just come off of the back of a defeat against Low Panda.
A bit actually immediately. Credo.
Oh, wow.
Last second, he just goes straight on to sniper for mid, so the spies wouldn't have actually had time to check that.
Callback's already on the top, getting some spam. Nice spam into the choke. Just making some space, and Credo gets the headshot onto Captain. That is the first pick. That's going to instigate a big bomb in through the choke. Se7en are out of there. And great mid-fight there. It was Fluo who actually did the follow-up just to scare Se7en away. The cap is slowly going down. Nuthouse just capping the point by himself. Se7en back onto their second point. And now we're probably just going to see a slow pace here, eepily, waiting for Credo to kind of work his way in and see if he can get another pick.
I said, like, that last minute change, like, no one on Se7en expected that sniper to mid. They weren't playing in the correct kind of positions. Like, immediately losing that pick with Captain, they were just like, right, we're done. Actually, Drek tries to make it all starting to happen on Choke. He gets good damage, but no, they're still kind of getting in a second situation. But actually, Elocore goes down, and Ombrak is so incredibly weak on 15 health, losing Fluo as well. This is actually just basically awful for top5. They have to back up all the way to Choke. There's still the threat of Credo, but if Se7en pushes correctly, there shouldn't be too much of a risk to Raymond.
There are some good stickies there by K that's just throwing damage in Choke, and then Thalash just walked forward. Nice meat shot onto Elocore, took him down. So that's just allowed Se7en just walk through there. Starkey has gone down by an enemy line. He's just trying to get a little bit too aggressive there in the sewer. But yeah, Se7en basically just walking forward. Credo's still on sniper, hasn't gone down yet. Trying to work his way in through Choke. Captain's trying to spam it, not allowing him to get the angle that he wants onto Raymond. But now Drak is making his way in through the PC, going to get cleaned up by Fluo. Had to call back for company to keep him safe, and I'm just not sure about this position right now. I think it's a bit awkward for top5 to make some space.
No, like we did see Callback try and get behind. He got a rocket or two onto Raymond, maybe 1.5 rockets, not enough for Raymond to get anywhere near forcing. He doesn't even care. But immediately, like, we see this every time, that the second someone on top5 dies, there's suddenly just an obscene amount of spam in, like, all these choke points from Se7en, and it was just basically pure chance that Fluo didn't die there as well. He was on something along the lines of, like, a 1 or 3 health or something ridiculous, so... Right, we see Se7en moving towards sewer. They've been spotted. They might just, I don't know, possibly sticky it up, just control a different kind of area. They know exactly where top5 is playing. They can wait, they don't need to worry too much. They have control of PC, they have control of Choke. They know that
just watching
really top5's not going to go anything crazy, you know?
Credo landed a headshot onto Captain there just as he opened the door. You can see Starkey on the sniper, just gonna have a little bit of sniper v sniper right now, trying to open the door and get some sort of shot onto Credo, because he is the man that's stopping them from pushing right now. He's landed a few headshots already, and Captain is taking the brunt of the damage from that sniper right now. But Starkey trying to make his way in through Choke. They're trading some shots here, but nothing gets landed. Elocore just spamming out, not allowing them the space, and this is the kind of gameplay I was expecting. Credo, though, taking a lock shot, and then Starkey with the follow-up. Nice body shot to take him down. Big jump in from Fluo. Oh no, he's just going to bait it and go around. And the counter jump comes in from Captain, trying to control sewer. They are going to take down Fluo.
So good for Se7en. Fluo dying there, like, he wanted to get on a sniper, which was, like, fine. But the full commit is just not what you want to do there. And now Uber's getting used through Choke. Raymond's taking 0 damage. There's no way he has to use here. This is actually just shockingly bad for top5 right now. They actually get one nice rocket from Callback there onto Raymond. But Raymond's still living on 7. He doesn't have to use it. This is like Raymond in his element, though. He doesn't care. Like, he reads the situation so well. He knows, like, there's no situation where he's going to have to use here. He knows these teams. He's played against these players like 100 times. And then it's using straight through onto last. Actually, they're not even using. They know they can look even more. Raymond doesn't care. They still haven't used. Right, finally he uses. Like, they walk all the way into last. They, like, basically already get 2 kills before they even have to use. Now they can just play this as slowly as they want. This is, like, just Raymond playing, like, perfectly. He's so aware of everything that's happening. It's like the risk of him dropping is just basically nothing, because he's just so smart about how he goes about moving through the map.
He was basically touching the spawn door by the time he used. That was brilliant. And we've been talking about how well Callback has been in making plays and getting the forces in. But even more impressive was how Se7en just dealt with him. It looked like he was being totally ineffective, and seeing as how well he's played all day, he just couldn't get anywhere near Raymond. As Drac and Callback are trading rockets here, and then Fluor goes in for the second shot. Wow, a nice little air shot there is going to make him very weak and out of this fight. Raymond's pretty weak, and he's playing close to the sewer. Callback and Captain both die here, and Nuthouse is starting to turn it on, takes down Drac. Raymond at 7 HP has to be really careful here. Se7en looking like they're in control, but any damage coming in from top 5 could be the winning shot on this mid fight. And actually, yeah, Se7en realized their HP isn't great, have to back off here. Credu just landing some shots away. If he'd actually been shooting Raymond during that mid fight, he would have probably killed him from across the map, because he was just 7 HP. But instead was trying to fight someone else, and again we see top5rocket win the mid fight eepily, and without a sniper to mid this time. So no snipers, we're just seeing the vanilla classes as a bit of a stalemate on second to mid.
Yeah, that's it. We're going to do this same kind of exchange as spam on choke. Everyone's just, you know, trying to heal up, play reasonably safe. Elikor does keep peeking this choke, and also we did see last time Elikor got taken down with a combination of Cadis's stickies and a meaty shot from one of the Se7en scouts. So if I was Elikor, I'd be a little bit worried about running too far forward, but right now, same kind of position as always. Yeah, it's 24 minutes to go, but Se7en have a round up. It's equal Ubers. They can kind of chill. They can force top 5 to start trying to do things and then poke holes when they get in that kind of position.
Yeah, there's no pressure for them to get around. They're 1-0 up. They can just wait, and they can wait for the expected. Actually, Starkey goes down there, getting quite aggressive and choked, but Elikor with his stickies is going to finish him off. And I expect Callback to be jumping in any second.
Oh
now,
my
but the
god,
drop!
that sticky trap! That sticky trap in Investment Sewer, I was just vaguely looking at the spam and choke. That's obscene! Oh my god, Ombrak dropping there and taking down Credu as well. That's just, like, this passive position on point, like, top 5 just wanted to, I guess, try and take as much position as possible, but Cadis knew. Cadis read it like a book. He was in the perfect position to read it, and now, same position as before, Raymond's walking through, he takes a little bit of damage, he knows he doesn't have to force. They're so aware of where everyone is, and now, really, this should be a free second.
I mean, it's a carbon copy.
Yeah, like, top 5 know it as well. Credu's already engineer on last, like, they have no interest in doing anything big on second whatsoever. Fluor dying here, if he does, will be so bad. Oh, he's gonna... Oh, he just dies in the rollout. That's not good. And actually, Cadis wants to go through
Ombrak is nowhere near Uber. He's nowhere near, and Nuthouse might actually get caught out here. He's not in a good position. The sentry is taken down without any trouble at all by Drac. Nuthouse is finished off as expected. The lash on a 3k right now. And Credu is on the Reese, comes out, tries to get something done. Ombrak finished off. We're just going to focus the point here now, bait the players to the point, and clean them up. And that's just textbook. It's almost a carbon copy, eepily, except Ombrak didn't get forced. This time he got dropped by the sticky trap, but the same thing happened. They took away top 5's Uber, and then just walked forward, used the Uber on last, and just, you know, slaughtered them on last.
Like, we literally saw, it's the same as what top 5 did to Hard Gaming earlier, where they, like, the medic has all this Uber advantage, and he literally walks through, like, almost 3 entire control points before having to use. Like, the read of the game is just so good.
Drac is trying to get aggressive here and actually jumps all the way back. Was a nice little distraction, and actually it's allowed Se7en to take nice control, but he finally goes down. Captain at the lash though, picking up some frags. Excuse me, Raymond goes down to Callback. I was like, what, Raymond died? I choked on my surprise there.
Is that allowed?
I didn't know that could happen.
It's a pretty good mid for top 5. They're playing close to 1. They know they have to, because otherwise Se7en would just jump through and crush them. Like, you know, we know that Cadis as a demo is perfectly willing to just jump in if he finds a position to sticky people out, but Ombrak playing definitely the correct kind of position there. They're starting to move towards IT. Obviously, Se7en, they're all up now, but they're more or less playing on their side. They know they're going to have to spam. Like, this IT push, you're never not going to have to use, but it's just if you can make things happen after. Actually, they can't. They're going to exchange Uber for the point. Starker's actually hiding. And he takes down Fluor, taking 0 damage himself, so this could actually further repush if Se7en wanted to. Actually, Thanos is going through, he's taking space. Cadis wants to do the exact same. Captain's taking this position on point. This is very good for Se7en taking this for free, and now they're going to have Uber advantage to push second as well, so... Actually, you see Fluor in chat, why do I bother? I think Fluor's he's letting his performance get to him a little bit. He's getting caught out in these situations where maybe a more established player wouldn't.
It's just maybe that slight bit of experience, but actually he does pick up the lash there, so that's going to significantly weaken the Se7en Uber as they come in and basically pick up nothing. Captain is very, very weak, and callback looks like he wants to contest, jumps in, nice rocket, takes down Starkey, Drac goes down to the post from Elikor, and Elikor very weak there, but receiving a nice healthy arrow from his medic, and Credu is in on mid, takes down Captain, and he swords Raymond down, slaughers him like a knight.
Beautiful.
Thalash on the respawn is the only player alive in sewer, and he's going to back off to second. And that was a pretty decent recontest there. The Uber from Se7en didn't really achieve much. Thalash
No,
getting
like
dropped.
they lost Thalash
yeah.
early, and then Cadis got juggled. Like they couldn't get onto that kind of position where they sticky out roll out like they're supposed to. And actually, we're seeing top 5 basically do the same pattern. They don't even want to use this time. Like I said, generally, if you go to this position, you kind of want to use out, but they just want to take it for free, which they're completely able to. You know, they pressure a little bit, fake it a little bit. Se7en knows they have to back up. They don't want to die on second. Now we've got a sniper, we've got a gun on last. Top 5's making their position towards lobby. Lobby left it is. Elikor jumps in, trying to take a position, nearly kills Cadis. That would have been incredibly good if he could have. But now they're just contesting him on right, getting huge damage. They're going to have to start getting time on point. And this is where Se7en soldiers come in to try and deal with things. And actually, this is equal players. Cadis is pretty weak, but actually Se7en's the ones really trying to get the frags. They're actually the ones kind of making it happen. So, no, I said you'd need a bit of a miracle for top 5 to end up bringing that back. That was actually just Se7en's ability to kite the Uber and the ability to deny the point early that allows them to keep hold of that incredibly easy. They don't even have to get an Uber and use it. So,
Do you know what they did so well there? They took so much damage, but the class switching in spawn meant that basically they were just respawning with crit heals, and just coming out, and it was brilliant. Like they took so much damage from that Uber, but they coming through, and actually Thalash gets dropped there. Fleur with the spam again is going to take him down, and the Uber from Se7en is used, but it's an awful Uber. It's not going to achieve anything, and that means top 5 do have an Uber here. Umbrak hasn't had to use it, and they're just getting really aggressive here. They're going to try and chase down Drac. They do clean him up. Credit on a 4K right now. Taking him down in PC. 2 down for Se7en. Starkey just switches over to the engineer, trying to get a sentry up as quickly as he can. As top 5 have another chance to Uber into the last. They haven't had to use just yet. There is a Natasha heavy from the spawn, but they're focusing the point. Starkey with the snipes takes down Credu with the headshot. And they're just swarming onto the point right now. So very weak.
Oh, how are Se7en getting all these frags? This is obscene. Like, it was a fantastic flash on Ombraka on a nut house. He could just about live that. I thought that was going to be kind of what would ruin the last push, but Ombrak's flashes were perfect, but it just seemed like Se7en's ability to, like, dodge the damage and kind of, like, keep jumping and recontesting point and doing this and doing that and just about managed to hold it off. That's actually an incredibly strong last hold.
Yeah, that time they got such good focus on the point. And Stark just switching from NG to Sniper, taking off the head of Credu, and they're in a position now where they do have an advantage, but it's not as big. But we're talking about 20-30% here. They are actually arrow building to build this advantage to quite a decent amount. Probably about 40% right now, so they're looking to push on the dot. They do have a sniper in Credu, so it's not going to be really super great for this advantage, but Elikor again taking the Uber, jumping in onto the sentry. Oh, he gets a nice flash, and then Nuthouse on the point gets so much cap time, and nobody tries to contest him. And that's much more clinical than the previous 2 pushes, and top 5 get around on the board, making it 2-1. And Se7en there, very clutch at times, eepily, but in the end, just the advantages just kind of
like I said,
came home to roost.
Top 5 had so many like attempts to do it. Like Se7en is going to pull off some miracle holds sometimes, but it's not going to happen 100% consistently. So top 5 just kept giving themselves those positions where they have that advantage. So it was always going to work out eventually. So it's now 2-1 to Se7en. Looking at another mid fight.
Yeah, we see some aggression here from Elikor. He's taking so much damage. Can he get an arrow? Oh, he gets an arrow clutch arrow there. But Cadis takes down Callback with some nice pipes. And Captain takes
nice
a one rocket,
Fluo.
2 kills. Takes down Thalash and Raymond. And that's the second successive mid now that Raymond has died. That's quite a late death, actually. He's in the respawn queue for another 5 seconds. Umbrak at 100%, but Starkey is still in. He's getting aggressive. He's got Nuthouse to contend with, but Nuthouse picks up 2. So top 5 winning that mid, and they have an Uber in the bank, eepily. So we could see a repeat of the last round where, you know, oh, actually, Thalash, Sniper.
Not on what he's got that line on choke. If Umbrak goes through it, which he shouldn't, he's going through IT. They know they're almost like half expecting us. They're just going to try and walk through lower. They almost kind of like they half faked that little Uber advantage push. But actually, Stark is straight on Umbrak. He gets a couple good shots, but taken down. That house playing the right kind of position to keep his medic alive. And
yeah, Thalash is switched off to NG now. Doesn't feel he can get the shot. Starkey dead. Gets a sentry up as quick as he can. And the Uber is
Raymond getting caught there. Wow. That's not good at all. That's not good. This should, as long as top 5 don't do something absolutely abysmal, like lose 3 players over the... What do I say? What do I say at CeeJaey? Right, Se7en, kill them.
So they focus Raymond and take him down. That's step number 1. That's great. But then Captain jumps in from behind and just focuses the point. And there's stickies all over it anyway. So between Captain and Cadus, the 2 Ks just merge together and just frag everything.
Just an obscene amount of damage. But like it's the focus as well. It's like the 7 scouts cleaning up those little bits of damage. I think that really is making all the difference. But it's just, I don't know, in all these situations, it isn't even like top 5's necessarily playing particularly poorly on these last pushes. It's the fact that 7's timing when it comes to like blocking the point and that, they're really doing it. They're really on point today.
Literally on point during that last point. But Raymond did die, let's not forget, in that previous exchange. He does have an Uber advantage of about 20%. But Cadus actually getting picked off there by Elikor, using those pipes. It's a great effect to take down his opposing Demoman. Fluo tries to come in here, but gets picked off, and it's not a great exchange as Se7en maybe decide to start pushing in here. Captain getting aggressive in choke. Elikor is going to get taken down.
This is bad now. Losing you, as I said, losing your pocket and your demo like that, it's not good at all. Like, Umbrak can be looking to trade on second if he needs to, but actually the way that Se7en are playing, they're just kind of buying position for what would have been a force. They take down, pull back on like the counter, Dark dies as well, but none of this really matters too much because worst comes to worst, Se7en's going to be trading in choke. Their spawners are only 10 seconds, so they can wait. It doesn't really matter too much. But they did buy a lot of position for Captain to give it a go. Which Fluo's in, gets one good rocket on someone, not 100% sure. He goes down as well, and we get force from Umbrak.
Yeah,
nice
Umbrak
arrow from Raymond on
Thalash.
Thalash.
Cadus gets dropped.
Oh, that's not
gets
good.
dropped. And they're going to come in. Elikor Nuthouse getting picked off. Drak gets killed in exchange, but it does look like Se7en are in the ascendancy here. Umbrak is running back to last. Starkey is on him. He's trying to land the arrows, but he can't. And he's going to be in the respawn queue for another 10 seconds, and this is going to be big for Se7en. They could decide to push right now.
Yeah, it looks like they can do exactly that. Only 3 up. Soldier, Scout, Demo. Thalash takes down the Scout. Starkey kills the Demo, and Starkey kills the Soldier as well. That's basically that.
I mean, it was really well played there by Elikor. He landed so many pipes, but both Cadus and Thalash were within one shot of dying. And nobody came in with the cleanup. If all it needed was somebody to shoot a rocket or a scatter, just something at them, and would have got them. But in the end, nothing happened from it, and the Uber just kind of came back in and collapsed onto top 5. So onto our 5th mid fight right now. Korvac not playing as aggressive as he has done before. Fluo just trying to watch PC, but he's just going to get absolutely
huge damage
smashed there.
Same for Korvac as well, actually. And we did have Credu sniping to mid, something very, very late. He's not going to do anything. He's going to get taken down. Wow, Umbrak got taken down. That's a full wipe. Only losing Cadus, that shouldn't really matter at all. And this is looking like if we compare like the last pushes, top 5 had a lot of good attempts to push last and have only managed 1 so far. We look at Se7en. Se7en's also, they failed their fair share, but overall their percentage is much, much greater. Even losing Drak here, I would imagine the second Cadus is here, they can push. And as long as they play sensibly, they will still be successful. Actually, both soldiers are in lobby. I'm not 100% sure why. Flo goes down. Korvac's incredibly weak.
He's literally 1 HP.
Thalash.
Yeah, the Uber comes in. There's no stickies on the point. There's no sentry to deal with. It's just Credu on the heavy, and Starkey's just going to waltz right up there. Actually gets taken down. Credu with the tracking there. And the push doesn't get converted. So that percentage, which was pretty good before, not as good as it once was. Drak jumping in the air, maybe trying to get a force. Gets 1 rocket.
Straight onto
Umbrak.
11 health. Oh my god.
Unbelievable.
Umbrak is so lucky and so good for not dying there.
that door just closing at the right time and just making it so that Drac couldn't get that last rocket straight onto him. Ombrak is going to tick over to 100% Uber right now. Raymond at 80%. He's really safe back in the choke. So he's probably going to have enough Uber to contest as it is a PC push. Big jump from callback, but everyone is already out. Creddy's going to get the rest of the Uber. Cadus takes a lot of damage. Is he going to take any more? No,
this
he's
should be a
getting healed up
repush
there.
from Se7en 100% of the time. You can. They're so close. You should be able to be killing every single one of them, and they almost do that. There's still Fluo to pick up.
Fluo is still in.
Shouldn't really matter, he's caught behind. Callback should die on PC as well. Yep, Captain wins a 1v1 with him. It's now Starkey versus Fluo. And they trade. A little bit unfortunate for Starkey there. Doesn't matter though, because Ombrak's dead. They've already taken position on second point. Raymond has built himself a 30% advantage or so, where Ombrak died just at the end of that Uber. So as long as they build hard, this is enough an advantage to push. I said it's 3-1 with 9 minutes to go, so this ends up being 4-1. It's going to get another quite desperate situation for top 5.
Absolutely, and it does look like top 5 aren't very fond of the sentry strat on last. There's only off class is Credu on heavy, so no sniper, no NG, nothing like that. They're just kind of relying on the heavy with the Natasha to try and deny this push, and it does look like Se7en are taking in through the far side. Uber hasn't even been used yet, and they're basically already in panic room. Raymond finally pops it off. Nuthouse and Fluo go down very, very quickly. And no stickies on the point. Thalash is going to get a bunch of time on there.
Oh my god, this heavy
actually
is
gets
pounding
knocked
though.
off.
Gets 3 kills, but it doesn't really mean anything much in the end. There's so much time on point that by the time the heavy could even drop down, like he got the kills, but
They
wasn't
just
actually able
brute
to block
forced it in the end. It was just, the 2 early kills. The heavy did great work, but when you've got that many players alive, invincible around you, it's nothing you can do. And Se7en just being kind of just forcing their way onto the point, and basically a point play, sorry, as Callback tries to go for the sewer push, realizes that Cadus is in there, backs off, and is basically kind of out of this fight, but comes back in and takes Drac down. So that is an early pick for top 5, and Se7en have decided to hightail it out of there. They're already on second, so yeah, interesting play by Callback. Does make the things happen, dies this time though. And that's going to really
looks
slow
like he
down.
wants to go straight behind. Oh, he gets spotted last minute. I could see him just running behind Ombrak then, getting a crisp 2-shot and somehow living. That's like the Starkey promise, but he gets spotted by those capping scouts just in time to not really go for it. So now we have the same kind of position, waiting on Callback to respawn. Cadus, as always, getting really, really good damage on Choke and on Flu, who's just sitting there in sewer. So I think we're just going to have to wait a little bit. Let's see who peeks in Choke. Said Elacor's so fond of this peeking. I think he's got to be really, really careful, because it's getting to the kind of time where, like, losing a demo, that's wasting another, like, 40 seconds of your team's time, really, by the time everything is, like, done and sorted. So 7 minutes with 3 rounds, you got to start thinking about that.
We've seen it 2 or 3 times now where Elacore is getting aggressive and he doesn't really have the sudden choke. Takes some splash damage from either Cadus or Captain, and then one of the scouts just comes in and pops a shot into him, takes him down. And if that happens again, then it's just going to be an invitation for Se7en to try and walk it forward or just wait. Looking at the time, we're under 7 minutes now, and top 5 have 3 rounds to make up. So they really do need to get a move on if they're going to do something. And they're moving in through PC right now. They're going in through top. And Ombrak just backing off a little bit here, deciding it's not what they want to do. They're going to rotate. Callback taking a lot of damage, but he's got that health pack just in case. And I don't know, top 5 just... I would have expected Callback to jump in right now. I'm not saying they're out of ideas, but it does look like they're struggling to kind of probe a way through.
Yeah, it is so difficult. See, Se7en are known for having holds better than basically any other team when they're on their form. So you can see why it'd be difficult to like try and make something happen. But the problem is, this is why this situation can be so tricky. Top 5 just have to do something.
Absolutely, like Starkey's just kind of bouncing around through choke. In comes Callback though. He's going to go all the way around through PC. Can he catch off anyone? Drac is actually in from behind. He's in on mid as well. And he actually forces Ombrak.
And they trade Flu out for it. So this should be actually killing Elacore for basically no reason. He's going to get a crispy arrow as he gets away.
Callback's
There's
behind.
Actually, yeah, Callback and Credo are both behind. They're going to try for a back cap. Se7en know it though. They're just going to play in such a position as it shouldn't really be a problem. Yeah, Cadus gets a sticky on Credu. It is 3v4. Going off this is dodgy. Okay, right. Captain got the memo. He backed up now. So Se7en can take their time, they can get their spawners and still push with a bit of an advantage. They can choose not to push as well, really. It's like, if you push this, it's going to be difficult. Like, you're never really going to get it for free, I wouldn't have thought. Actually, I say that. Top 5 are playing so far back, they're really, really scared of this. And no, 7 are taking it for free. And they get fluo as well. This is so bad, and Elicor's taking huge damage in choke. If 7 are really fast, they can keep moving on to choke, but I can't imagine they would. I can't imagine anyone on 7 is going to be calling, 20% advantage, let's go,
No, I mean, they have, like, equal Ubers now. They're going to know that. They're smart enough.
And now Starkey's behind. And Drak's behind. Starkey's got behind, he's
taken
on
down,
the
but Starkey gets Credu, yeah. And Korbak's going to jump in through the choke right now. He can't make anything happen because Raymond's just really safe, surrounded by Thalash and Cadus there. So 2 down for 7. Wow.
These stickies on choke are just annihilating them. It's annihilating
Fluo
top
just
5 every
absolutely
time.
denied. Really painful to watch as the soldiers are desperately trying to get in, but they just cannot get into a position where they're able to make anything happen on Raymond. Korbak very, very weak, has to run in through PC, trying to get away here. And we've gone, this has basically been 3 minutes, eepily. 3 minutes of this. And all that 7 have done is just edge their way forward and taken control of mid. It's just made the job more difficult for top 5. As I say that, Starkey is on Pyro now, and Fluo just gets totally denied. The combination of the scouts, the Pyro, Credu goes down to Captain as well. And again, still no force onto Raymond, and it looks like 7 are going to push in through now, into the choke. Cadus leading the way, getting some nice sticky damage onto Elicor.
Starkey's just running at Korbak and lobby with playing Pyro. He's just walking to him. There we go. Korbak gets reflect killed just as Uber comes out from Ombrak. Raymond once again. He just he's jumping through choke, he's dodging, he's diving, he just doesn't care. He never has to use it.
The drop! Was that a drop?
God.
No, I think
no,
Ombrak had just finished.
Ombrak used. Don't worry.
I thought I heard the crackle there. I thought he'd like switched off and dropped or something, but no. 100% for Raymond. They do lose Starkey, but I don't think they're going to mind losing a Pyro. They're just going to walk onto the point. Don't actually even need to use. Korbak was basically on the ceiling. He's going to make it 5-1. Ombrak has said GG's and has left the server. There still is 3 minutes to go, but it looks like top 5 have had enough and realise it's impossible for them to win, and don't really want to see out the remaining minutes.
Yep, I think we're calling it GG at that point. 5-1 for 7 in a very very dominating kind of fashion. Like, yeah, they did lose a round, but that was mainly just because of top 5 managing to get themselves some nice little kind of advantageous positions a few times, and eventually they managed to get a successful last push. But in general, it just seemed like in every stalemate, every one of those kind of like equal situations, 7 was always the team managing to get a pick, or at least like even if they would lose a pick, they'd then get 2 more or something. Like, I think it's gonna be interesting to see the logs, because Cadus's damage on choke must have been like huge. His ability to just completely deny choke every time with these like synced up stickies landing at the same time on choke, it's like, you can't really overstate how important that is for actually just completely denying the ability to jump through, to peek, for Elicor to really do anything to try and walk through.
But I mean, that's the way that top 5 play. They're sending Korbak, and they have that aggression in through the chokes from Elicor. He puts out so much damage, and Korbak creates that space for him to do that. And if that space isn't created, it's really denying Elicor getting in and making something happen. And that's what we saw basically throughout the entire game. And the amount of times Elicor got picked off just because he was trying to get aggressive, trying to peek through, but he didn't have that space and no one was really supporting him. So he just got picked off by, a combination of the splash damage and a scout just shooting. So it just seemed 7 were just playing their style, just waiting and just denying top 5 from kind of getting in and making an opening. So that really was, for me, vintage 7. That was much more seeing them at their best. Obviously, we didn't see the entirety of the game against the Chokebusters, which they lost on a golden cap, but I feel that that performance really does say to me that 7, they're not rusty. They're just maybe took a little bit of time to warm up today, and they did really look in a really good position.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, you saw some specific moments from Raymond in particular, like his understanding of like positioning on medic, his ability to like move through the map, like anticipate every single possible threat. Like it's still there. The last like month or so of like not playing medic, he's still got all the same skills he's known for. It's the kind of stuff where we've seen Ombrak emulate. Like I said in one of the earlier games earlier. Wow. But like when it's against a team of a caliber of Se7en, he just hasn't got the same read. He's not in the same situation in terms of players, and he's not got the same kind of read and like the just total confidence for it. I think if we can get the logs up at some point, if we just take a quick browse through, link them to you, CeeJaey. Oh no! Oh, we already got it.
Yeah,
John,
I'm
you're a good
taking a
lad.
look at it now, and it's Starkey there with 28 kills, just kind of just in fine form, just showing what he can do. And then you take a look at the damage, like it's pretty crazy. Look at Captain, just kind of holding down that choke. Captain and Cadus putting out 300 DPM. It just shows how effective their game plan was to deny top 5 the space to get anything done, and Starkey and Thalash just basically cleaning up everything.
Yeah, I said I think we mentioned about Fluo before, how he was having like a tricky time against a lot of these teams, and you saw this game he got denied hard. He ended up 8 for 24. These kind of like top 5 jumps, trying to like take position, trying to kind of, I don't know, even just like backing out of a lot of situations. Like I think things were always worse for Fluo because of his like bit of inexperience, but in general it just shows Se7en's mentality towards like dealing with soldiers. They're so efficient at doing it, and you have to be a really like exceptionally good player in order to kind of break through the Se7en kind of barriers, really actually be able to take any position on them. It was 6-1. Some of the like position was like a bit slow, but like if you're sorting by deaths, the only real guy on Se7en who like died at all was Drac, which would make sense because they did send him in for like quite a few things, and he went some like aggressive peaks on the flank. But just in general, in these kind of like equal Uber on choke situations, no one really apart from Drac was getting picked off. It would always be a case of they'd pick someone off and then they'd send Drac, or they'd send Drac and then they would immediately pick someone off. There was, I think, maybe once a situation where I saw Cadus die because he got picked off at a choke point where he really shouldn't have. There was maybe once or twice for like Captain in total, but it was a very regular thing for top 5. They'd lose Eloquent, or they'd lose Fleur, or they'd lose a scout to just like random spam or whatever. And I said, I think that was all the difference for Se7en.
Yeah, exactly. And it just seemed that Se7en were in control, and it was really top 5 having to enforce the issue, and Se7en basically waiting for them to either make a mistake or just kind of play it slowly and go through the motions. And usually that mistake came through, like I said, Eloquent getting picked off at the choke, or Fluo getting picked off trying to jump away, something like that. And once they had a mistake, once they had some sort of slim advantage, they just snowballed it into something even bigger. And it was really interesting to watch. I mean, 6-1, that last round, it could have essentially been a 5-1, but top 5 pushing last, they had 2 or 3 opportunities which they didn't convert. We were talking about the conversion rates pushing into last, and maybe they'll be having to take a look and kicking themselves over maybe it not working out so well. What went wrong? Se7en, when they had an advantage, I think there was only once that I can actually remember where they tried to push last and it didn't work. So it does raise the question, is there something that they should be doing on last to deal with whatever's causing the problems? Because Captain and Cadus just combined so many times just to focus that point and just deny them after the Uber. But that's great to see. Do you know any of the other results? Do we have all of the results in just yet?
I can have a look very quickly. Round 5. Okay, we have Low Panda beat the Chokebusters 2-1. Obviously, we saw Se7en 6-1 top 5. Antic beat Red Pandas 3-1. Hard Gaming beat Ayatollah Circle Jerk 4-3. My son's basketball team 7-2 against Colchester FC. And then Pooper Scooper people won their game 3-2. Rude Bears just won. Cabbage just won, for whatever that means. The only game ongoing in the entire tournament is apparently Intergalactic Planetary Doggos versus Floatout. And after that will be it for the entire day worth of games.
Wow. So it's actually, believe it or not, the teams with the should we say unsavory names that didn't get through to tomorrow. So I no longer have to say their team names. Brilliant. If you want to hear them, we
stop
you can
saying
go,
that, John.
John's
He's saying bad things in our ears. I'm sorry.
he's tainting my my innocent ears. Go and check out the bracket if you want to see the teams that got through. But basically, 16 out of the 18 teams will be returning tomorrow for the knockout round. Looking at the Prem teams, which is obviously the teams that people are interested in, the top seed will be Low Panda with Se7en and Antic being in essentially joint second. It does list Se7en as a higher seed, so I'm not sure if that's because of a round differential. I'm not sure. I'm sure it'll all be explained to us by tomorrow. top5rocket, with those 2 defeats towards the end there, ending up joint 4th with the Chokebusters. So yeah, we'll be heading in tomorrow. Knockout bracket to see which of these teams will be heading towards the final. I do believe we start at 18 CEST, Eepily.
Good lord, we've just been informed that is the case tomorrow.
Awesome. So same time tomorrow, we'll be back and we're seeing which one of these teams reaches the final. Whichever team, well, 2 teams reach the final, they'll both get money. Runners up get 150 euros, while the winners get 350 to share between their team. And Eepily, you'll be back tomorrow, won't you?
I'm not 100% certain as of right now. Honestly.
Okay.
We'll do some organizational stuff a little bit later.
Well, we'll find out. We'll find out who's casting. Some people will be talking over the games tomorrow, so come back to Essentials.TF and check it out, and we'll see which one of these teams goes on to win at the monthly Essentials tournament. But thank you for watching. Any last words, Eepily, before we depart?
I'm just going to give some shout outs. Shout out to Doggo for their excellent tournament run so far. Shout out to you, CeeJaey, and obviously John for doing production. Shout out to Essentials. Shout out to eepily.cool. And it's my parents' anniversary tomorrow, so shout out to them.
Aw. Shout out to Eepily's parents as well. That's a wholesome end to the stream. I like that. But thank you for casting with me, Eepily. It's been a pleasure. And
it's been good fun. It's been some good games.
It has been. It's been some brilliant action, some close games, and some really fun games as well. So hopefully have many more tomorrow to watch. We'll see you then. Thanks for watching and have a good night.